Hi, it's Orla at 40 Something Books, and today I am going to film a book haul. Now, some of these books aren't new releases, they're books that a friend of mine get in her local bookshop 3 for 2, and we sometimes swap them around, so I have to wait maybe till she reads 1 or 2 of them and so on. It's just a way of saving money, and some I got from the book depository for myself. The first book I have is We Are Not Ourselves by Matthew Thomas. This book centres around Eileen, who is brought up by a hard-drinking alcoholic. It's set in the 60s when she comes of age and falls in love with Edmund Leary, and they get married, and he's a scientist and she's a nurse, and they have a son called Connell. And Eileen wants to move up in the world, she wants to change where they live and progress with their jobs and so on, and then she discovers, when she puts some pressure on her husband Edmund, that things are a bit more complicated and that there's a psychological reason why he doesn't want to give up his job in teaching, and it just follows the family through a series of decades, and it looks very good. I'm really looking forward to it. It's a big book, it's 610 pages. I actually started it before Booktubeathon, but I stopped because obviously 600 pages would be nearly 3 books. But I'm looking forward to reading the rest. My second book I got myself in a local bookshop. It's called Moral Disorder by Margaret Atwood. Now, Margaret Atwood is an extremely famous author, and I'm ashamed to say I have never read any of her books, including The Handmaid's Tale, which I have to read because it's embarrassing that I haven't. But this is a series of short stories that are interconnected, so I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll just dip my toes into Atwood and see if I like her. Obviously she's a very famous author, and for probably very good reason. I got that in my local bookstore. It was actually just $5.99 because actually it was published in 2006, so that's why it was a wee bit cheaper. The third book I got is Iqbal by Francis D'Amato. It's about Iqbal, who's sold into slavery in a carpet factory, and even though the owners of the factory promised the children that they will be released, Iqbal realises that there won't be, that these are false promises, and it says on the back that it's a moving fictionalised account of the real Iqbal Masai, is told through the voice of Fatima, a young Pakistani girl whose life is changed by Iqbal's courage. It's a really short little book. I wish I had had it for BookTube. I might actually keep it for a readathon because it's 120 pages. But it really looks like a really interesting book. And the fourth book is The Basic Ape by David Handler. Again, this was reduced on Book Depository, so I decided to buy it. Flannery Culp is the main character, and her friends, which make up the 8 people, are high school seniors. And Flannery obviously has too much to drink and is incarcerated afterwards. I think it's to do with the murder of the boy that she fancies. I think that's what it's about, but I haven't read it obviously. So I'm looking forward to this because it's supposed to be funny and witty, and I could do with something light to read. And the fifth book is Us by David Nichols. He's the author of One Day, which is a book that I really enjoyed. And this is about Douglas Peterson. He's a scientist and he's married to an artist. And when their son is about to leave home for college, she decides that she wants to rediscover herself. However, Douglas is completely thrown by this because he thought that they would be enjoying, I suppose, the empty nest together, and it's kind of a love story of sorts, I think. So I'm looking forward to reading this. So the last book is by Marion Keyes, The Brightest Star in the Sky, and it's based about, let me see, it's one address, 4 flats, a house full of hearts, and the extraordinary visitor about to change their lives forever. Marion Keyes writes a lot of chick lit books. They're usually very funny and entertaining. So this one was given to me by a friend, and it's not her latest novel, I don't think, but it's she liked it anyway, so it's not a heavy read or anything like that. It's a long book as well, it's over 600 pages, but if you like Marion Keyes, I think you'll like this. So that was my book haul, and don't forget to comment. I'd love to hear if you've read any of the books, if you'd recommend any other books by those authors, and I'll talk to you again soon.